We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw? What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air. Merry Christmas Eve to those that celebrate, and happy holidays to all. I hope you're enjoying the holidays, spending some time with the fam, and if you're hanging with us, we're going to break down tonight's NXT. It was an interesting one. I have a unique crew tonight in a good way. We've got a fun one, and I'm stoked about him. Let me introduce him to you. First and foremost, multiple appearance guy now here over on Tuesday nights. I'm going to send this one out to Chicago, Chi-Town, my hometown, to my buddy Davis. How are you doing today, my friend? Happy Tuesday. And happy holidays.
Happy Tuesday. Great overall week. Got the Christmas shopping done. Watched some good wrestling over the past couple weeks. Went to DC with Shad. Now we're locked in for World's End. So excited to be on the pod today. Let's talk some graps, as Shad says.
You got a heck of a week ahead of you. Not just the holidays, but World's End and all of that. But of course, it's Tuesday night. The Tuesday Night Delight is not here this week. But do get your twos up for Shad anyway. I mean, I'm wearing a James Madison sweatshirt right now. Enjoyed my weekend out there in Oregon. And so if Shad's not going to be here, we got to have somebody from Virginia. We have to. We have to send this one to Virginia. And I have scouted that state for the best podcasters in the world, and I happen to find one of the best in the game. The guy owns a college. It's Aunt You. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? It's good to be here on a Tuesday night with this new crew for me. So I can't wait to talk about a little NXT, get it together with you guys. Man, it is Christmas Adam, right? Because tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so today has to be Christmas Adam. Let's get into it.
Wow. By the way, Shad might be jealous there because that was like bars. That was sick. I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? We got a battle rapper. Sorry, Shad. I didn't mean it like offensively there. I don't want to get torched on that one at all. No, but that was electric. I will say though, I'm stoked to be here, guys. Let's get right into it though, because this was a funky show. So let's read comments out of the gates because that seems more fun than the first topic of the evening. Let's go to my mom. Love you, mama. Absolutely. We got Biggs. What is your take on Ricky Saints messing with Zilla?
Ricky
I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't even know if I really have a full take. I mean, he also works alongside a friend of mine, Danny Limelight from 5150 Monsters. Shout out Slice Boogie and Danny Limelight. If you haven't checked out that interview over on the other channel, Wrestling Republic's Undercard, check that out. That's one of the best tag teams in the business right now. But we also got the ones up for Aunt You, of course. Respect. But let's get into the first topic of the night. No doubt. I'm more like Ricky Stinks. Am I right? Yes. No doubt. Matt Williams. Yes. And that is Matt Williams, friend of the show. I did want to bring that up. Let's talk about Lola Vice versus Izzy Dame though, because I don't know, man. I don't want to knock this match. It was kind of a decent start to the show. It was what it was. Lola Vice picks up the victory. Chainsaw action from Tatum Paxley.
Yeah, man.
I dig that for the finish. It was fun. What scares me about the way the rest of the show is going to go is this felt like the highlight of the night. I'm going to start with you, Aunt You, though. How did you feel about it, bro? Like,
man,
I thought it might have actually been the best thing they did all night, and I thought it was kind of an okay start.
Definitely fun way to kick off the show. Lola Vice and Izzy Dame put on one heck of a match actually to get us going. There were some really good spots from both female competitors. Obviously, you had Sean Spears getting involved a couple times on the outside. And then, like you said, man, just coming through the wall like Jason. You had Tatum Paxley coming out with the lawn or with the chainsaw, and cameraman, you can't zoom in on the chainsaw if the blade's not spinning. Like you can't do that. We got a bunch of smoke, we got a bunch of noise coming out of the chainsaw, but it's not even moving.
Yeah,
Here at that point. But no, I thought the way Sean Spears reacted to it, I feel like sold it enough. He had an actual look of fear in his eyes. Izzy Dame jumping in the ring, getting hit with that huge back fist by Lola Vice, and just took her lights out. Definitely high energy to kick off the show. Wouldn't say it was the highlight because I know we'll talk about it next, but we did have Mr. Eli Knight on the show also. So
I mean, we are going to get there for sure, but I'm not going to lie. I've watched a lot of episodes of NXT, and I hear where you're coming from on maybe I didn't see many more highlights. Like this one, in my eyes, was as throwaway of a show as I've seen. I mean, if we thought, bless Chelsea Green, I think Chelsea Green's an amazing performer. But if we thought just putting her on the top of the card against Sol Ruca was going to make this entire show a huge deal in the middle of this week, like I actually felt bad in this situation. It felt like it almost had no chance in some ways. And that's why I felt like the opening match was kind of the highlight. Davis, I got to ask you as well, and then let's kind of break it down because it to me, I really was disappointed in this show.
Yeah, it was. It didn't really do much for me as far as entertainment wise. You had this match. If we're gonna take something from this match, the one thing I took, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the two that were really spotlighted. It's more Lola Vice and how far I think she's fallen as a competitor. I don't think she's really given the credit that she deserves, and I'm kind of starting to worry a little bit. She's getting lost in the mix. You got such a young roster there, and you have just a talented roster. And at one point, we thought she was going to be the call up, and now it just seems like she's spinning her gears on the brand. So I wonder if this is the ceiling for her, and it kind of makes me question that. Another thing I took from this is, and Shad may hate me for this one, I think Izzy's the star of this brand. I noticed it with the feud she had, and which is still ongoing on what is going to be made from Izzy. I think Izzy's a star on the main roster. I think her ceilings, and I may get slack for this one, but a Charlotte Flair, like a good heel Charlotte Flair, without the Ric Flair backing, as much as I dislike the show, there's like some points I can take away from this, and it's Lola is this Lola's ceiling, and is Izzy like, is it a strap a rocket to her and it's to the moon?
I can see a little bit of the Charlotte comparison. The only thing I will say is when it comes to Lola Vice, and maybe it's just personal preference, I love just the realism of like she is an ex MMA fighter, and the stylistic difference and everything about that. So I don't think it's her ceiling either, because it's interesting. I kind of agree and disagree with you at the same time, right? I think if you're asking me, they're both could be shot to the moon. I love the Charlotte Flair comparison, but I think Lola Vice is like the star. I actually think she's closer to a call up than a lot of people give her credit for. And if you look at the way that she's worked with other stars and the way that she's ingratiated herself in the professional wrestling community in the WWE, right? She's hanging out with everybody. She's very clearly popular backstage. We can all see that on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's a professional athlete, to say the least. I think that would be the only thing I would disagree with, is that I think both, and I'm not saying like one versus the other, but I think both are definitely in line for a big push. But I guess, and I would ask you, what are your thoughts on that by comparison there?
Yeah, man. I think the only thing Izzy Dame and Charlotte Flair have in common is that they both played volleyball. I mean, yeah, like Charlotte, Izzy is more of a brawler. Charlotte is way more athletic than I think Izzy is. This match was a setup for the real star to come out after and attack Lola Vice after the match. Kalani Jordan is the one that you strap a rocket to.
Yes.
Kalani Jordan has every single thing going for her. You know, and like her heel work has been so impressive, because I know I've said it before and I've heard Clark say it before, that Kalani Jordan just needs an edge to her. She was too sweet. Like, it was like, she can do no wrong. And now she's showing, no, I'm a badass too. So I feel like that mixture with her just pure athleticism is going to be she's going to be the catalyst that shoots up. You know what I'm saying?
For
like
sure.
Lola Vice gives you legitimacy. Tatum Paxley tugs on your heartstrings. Izzy Dame is the one that you can love to hate, but Kalani Jordan has everything.
Absolutely. I think Kalani, and it's funny because since we started off the air, and we miss you, Drizzy and Shad, no doubt about it this week. We hope you're having fun tonight, because they would attest. I have been saying for a long time, Kalani Jordan is arguably the best athlete in women's wrestling. If you look at even her athletic background and what she's actually capable of, as far as being able to work the schedule that it takes to be at the elite level and at the height of the industry, and the discipline it takes as well, there's nobody more qualified than Kalani, arguably. Not nobody, but that's hyperbole, but it is what it is, right? She's outstanding, and so I'm a huge Kalani Jordan fan, and I think given the right opportunity at the right time, you can really push her to the moon. I would almost compare her to like someone on the men's side that like won a world title that we didn't necessarily expect, like a Damian Priest.
Yeah.
But more athletically. Like the way that her main roster run could look a lot faster and a lot more impactful than the NXT run. And that's what's fascinating about NXT. But let's stick in the women's division right now, guys. We do have to keep it rolling here because we got a few things to talk about. Let's talk about Thea Hale, because we got a new champ here, and controversy creates cash, in the words of the great Eric Bischoff. We all know that one. Yeah, after last week, we needed a promo, and this was a promo.
Yeah,
we got one. A lot of yelling. I liked the passion. I liked the grown woman thing. We both kind of have raspy voices. I can relate to that. I will say that kind of threw me for a loop when she started really yelling. Like I can get myself in trouble doing that, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like losing the plot here. Would be maybe my only complaint about the promo. In general, though, how in the world can you not like Thea Hale? And it kind of tickles me, because of course, on this exact show, on this program, I torched that former champion, Mariah May. I torched her. Blake Monroe, I was right all along. And Thea Hale is the new North American Women's Champion for a reason. I'm just saying, I think it's karma. I want to ask you, though, Davis, what'd you think about the promo? And more importantly, please tell me she retains this title.
After the night, I think she does. I think she really solidified herself that she can be a long-term champion. Maybe not like, a year, but I think she can carry this title. I think they struck gold by an if it was an accident, so be it. We've seen a lot of crazier things. Shout out Montreal Screwjob. Not saying it's that deep, but it really made her look good tonight. It made her look like a credible champion. As for Blake Monroe, I think just feud with her for a little bit, and I'm high on Blake. Mariah, please change it back to Mariah. It kind of gave me a little bit of shades of Tony, though, with how she came out and just looked disheveled a little bit. It kind of gave me a little shades of Tony Storm, and after she lost the title. So I'm wondering if that's a tad bit of a dig there, or if y'all remember John Cena getting a little shout out from Cope on the AEW side with the "You Can't See Me." I wonder if this was a "Hey, how you doing, Tony?" with the gimmick. But yeah, as far as Hale goes, I think if I had to bet on it, I don't think she keeps the title, because I do think this was a legit accident that wasn't supposed to happen. But maybe somebody in the back, maybe Mr. Michaels is looking in the back and saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's ride this off. Let's move Blake up and to the main women's scene and ride that off to the sunset." It'd be interesting where this goes from here, though.
I totally hear you. I will say, obviously, all the regular viewers of this program are well aware of the fact that me and Miss Monroe have monster beef. So I'm not going to address any of the statements he made about Blake. But she wrote to Santa Claus about me. It's ridiculous. Have you seen it from the Daily yesterday? It's silly. You can't even. I was set up by Ben Allison and Blake Monroe. There's a conspiracy against me. Sami Zayn's got a whole documentary he's going to make about it eventually, I think. Well, he was making one before. I was just hoping he'd get involved in this one. It's Cody, it's Ethan Page, it's Ricky Saints, and it's Blake Monroe. They're all ganging up on me. I think it's a bullying situation at this stage. Yeah, someone shoot this up the chain of command. Either way, Ant, I gotta ask you, Thea Hale, the promo, what did you think? And what does it mean for Blake Monroe? Because honestly, that was a low point. I mean, let's also, you know what? I'm sorry. I was going to toss it to you, but let's not forget, it was February. It was February when she had arguably the women's match of the year against Toni Storm.
Yeah.
What the heck happened? What have we done since then? That's what scares me, and that's what my question is for you, Ant.
So I believe that Mariah Monroe, I don't know, whatever her name is. I feel like Blake Monroe is destined for bigger things. I feel like the little run with the Women's North American Championship was just to put her on the casuals radar. It was just to have people really start to see. And I think it's funny because when you watched the background of Thea Hale's promo tonight, there was a group of guys that were sitting back there that were solely for Blake Monroe. And every time Thea said something, they were, you could just see them mouthing it was a fluke. You don't deserve. It was crazy to see that because Thea Hale was America's sweetheart. She was NXT sweetheart for so long. And when she was with Chase U and she was going through, her NXT championship trials and tribulations, trying to win the belt, and Mr. Chase throwing in the towel and all that stuff, man, like she was so endeared to us. And then watching her go through a semi-maturation when she was with JC Jane and being left there, and then Chase U dissolving. Like, we really have seen Thea Hale grow up in front of our eyes. So I thought the promo was great. The passion in it, the anger, the disruption of Blake Monroe coming out. Like, we got to see all the emotions.
But here's the
from
thing.
Thea Hale.
The finish of last week's match was not on purpose. And it's the worst finish in the history of an NXT title match.
Everything happens for a reason.
It's not even close.
Everything happens for a reason. You have that fluky finish, so Blake doesn't get buried by losing to Thea Hale, right? So you have that fluky finish. You have them argue about it. You have Jordan Grace, who I feel like the woman who is getting buried in the sauce is. Jordan Grace go, no, you did win that match. You have all this happen. So when Blake switches her stance and she's just like, I'm gonna be women's champion.
We know it went wrong, though. We know it went wrong because to her credit, her head got dinged and whatnot. But we know it went wrong. We know it wasn't there were multiple mistakes. At the end of the day, the ring announcer announced that Blake Monroe had retained the title. He played the wrong music.
I'm trying to keep kayfabe here, right?
We're not.
We're
not with this one. Not with this one. And and I respect it too, Ant, and I know where you're going with that. But I'm at this point. Listen, Blake Monroe, I think, is a heck of a talent. I think the biggest mistake that's been made all year is she had arguably the women's match of the year. I was there in Los Angeles at Crypto Arena. It was awesome. Toni Storm and Mariah May and Blake Monroe. The red carpet was rolled out. Everything was correct. And Thea Hale coming out of this mistake, because it was a mistake, there's no debating that, last Tuesday, looks moreover, in my eyes, than Blake Monroe. That's wild.
Real quick, a little maybe sports reference here. So you mentioned Blake had the match of the year over in AEW.
Yeah.
Now, at one point, we asked in sports when Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were on the Patriots. Maybe Blake needs AEW more than AEW needs Blake.
That's interesting because I think Toni Storm can just make anybody be that good at this stage of her career. Is part of it to me too. Not to take the credit away just from AEW, but Toni Storm might just be that darn good. Because really, the rivalry with Toni Storm is what put Mariah May and Blake Monroe on the radar the way, she wasn't what she became until she's in the main event picture alongside that. That rivalry was an epic. That was one of the best.
Top 10.
Oh, yeah.
There was two, the first year and a half of the daily broadcast, Ben on our, Ben Allison, the man, the myth, the legend. We would often talk about how little time the women's division got on the AEW program. And it was true. He kept the stats and all of the above. But if you go back and look, when the tide turned was Toni Storm, right? That's when, okay, wait a minute, it was featured more often, more main event-esque, all of that, all of the above. and then Mariah May is brought along. I understand going to the other product. I find it fascinating in hindsight. And you know what? Let's stick with the subject because I don't think this was the best NXT episode ever. Jade Cargill went straight to the main roster.
Yeah.
And
Very
she never won the AEW Women's World title.
No.
And
I have
you know
to
who did?
disagree, though.
Mariah May.
I have to disagree though, man, because Toni Storm has proved that she is the best thing going right now. I mean,
Yeah.
two-time Women Wrestler of the Year. So I think.
No,
And if it
what do you
wasn't, but
disagree on?
if it wasn't for Mariah May turning on Toni Storm, she wouldn't have been in that situation.
Oh, I don't know. I think Mariah.
She rode Toni Storm's coattails till she turned on her.
But Tony, see, that's my point. Is Tony made Mariah May? I think.
So when they give Blake Monroe her challenge, and it's gonna be Jordan Grace.
But dude, she fumbled against Thea Hale last week.
You can say it, you can call it a fumble. It's a blip. It's a blip on her path. She's going to be a superstar in NXT. She's going to be a superstar on the main roster.
Probably. I mean, that was a tough look last week. There's no debating that. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to take away from her talent because I actually think she's off the charts talented. Now we do have obviously I'll beef. She's not a fan of mine, but at the end of the day, I do believe she's incredibly talented. And I'm not saying she should have stayed at AEW, but I've been saying it since the beginning. The grass isn't always greener. And this was an interesting look because I'm pretty confident this was supposed to be a pretty long title reign. And it's now we're flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, it's up to the promotion.
And that's pretty fascinating.
It's up to the promotion to tell the story. So at this point,
yeah,
whether it was a fumble or not, it's up to the promotion to tell the story of where we go from here.
Okay. So. Well, and I'm going to throw you an alley-oop here because we've got Tavion Heights and Eli Knight, who you've been waiting to talk about all evening. Break it all down for us.
Man, so first of all, you have, it's tough, man, because with Eli Knight and Javon Evans and the TNA, Leon Slater, dog, they're carbon copies of each other. So I think that's why we're going to see Javon Evans move up to the main roster. But Eli Knight came out tonight, and in 2 minutes, he hit some of the most ridiculous high-flying moves that we've seen from someone that the majority of the people don't know. I mean, Tavion Height hit one really good move, and that was the finish of the match. But other than that, it was a full display of what Eli Knight can do. That frog splash he hit, like second move of the match from the top rope, like insane. Like everyone talks about how high Montez Ford gets on his frog splash. Well, Eli Knight was just as high. So this kid from Reality of Wrestling, I've been watching him for about 7 months now, and he is just impressive in everything he does. I'm excited for it. Tavion Heights, legitimate BA.
I'm with you, and that's what sucks about it is I think they're both super talented, but I'm a little bit with Matt Williams here. It was Dr. Seuss booking. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like that. Also, Fernando Monster shout out, friend of the show with great segment on the last one. Thank you so much. Let me read through a few comments here too. We got, Mary, speaking of friends of the show, the only one that ever benefited from jumping ship from AEW was Ethan Page. Jeez Louise, but sheesh, respect there. We've got a bunch more comments here too. We've got Aunt You spitting facts from Mary. We got the laughing from Matt Williams, but Davis, I gotta ask you. You know, this is an interesting one because I thought there was a lot to be desired, but we had two great athletes in the ring. So I think I love the positivity. Like, I'm with him. But part of me just felt like there was just a lot to be desired. Did you feel the same there, or how did you feel about it?
I'm gonna side with Ant. I really enjoyed the segment, and it opened my eyes to just maybe just the division, the speed division, whoever competes in it. I would guess anybody can, but I am not a big fan of a lot of belts. I feel like it loses prestige around. This is probably the one asterisk as far as that goes, because speed has its own characteristic to it. You have to get it done in a certain amount of time, or yeah, it's a draw, but you can lose that quick. I think this match did exactly what it needed to do. It showcased two talents, and I loved every bit of it. I just it opened my eyes more to the division, the title, more than anything, because it gives so many great stars from Evolve, from you can get them from TNA, you can get them from the TNA or the NXT stars that don't get time to shine, and you give them a time on the show, and it lets them showcase their talents. And for this one, it was like a really very very like punch packing match that I enjoyed, and just the whole division. I'm glad they're doing something with that belt, and I haven't been on the show being able to say that.
I'm kind of with you. That is one of the positives too, and you kind of shined a light on that as well too. Like, it is cool that they're doing something with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been I'm not gonna lie, me, Shad and Dryzzy have been real critical of it on Tuesday nights. We're like, this is a Twitter show, right? Like, we've said it a few times. I said it. I just quoted myself, so I think we're good on signing sources there. At the end of the day, though, we've got a few more things to cover tonight, and let's start with Shiloh Hill and Skylar Ray versus Ariana Grace and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Skylar and Shiloh pick up the victory. This was fun adjacent. We were so close. We were so close. We had it. I thought we had it. And then it just, I don't know. Davis, talk to me about it.
So first and foremost, while watching the match, I grabbed my phone and I ordered some cookies because I was starting to crave some cookies when they whipped the cookies out. So I enjoyed the segment. Shiloh's growing on me. Shiloh is growing on me, and I said it a couple weeks ago. I don't think he's a main event roster or main event talent on the main roster. Shoot, you could strap an Intercontinental Championship to him and you tweak his gimmick a little bit. He could easily be who they wanted Baron Corbin to be and get over with the fans. He has that much of a unique personality. For the match itself, it didn't do too much for me except maybe take $30 out of my bank account for some cookies. But other than that, I'm super high on Shiloh Hill, and I can't wait to see him later on down the road. And I guarantee you he's going to be a star on the main roster.
I'm with you. I'm not going to lie, though. You know who impressed me the most in this match? By far, Skylar Ray. Skylar Ray, by far. Perfect frog splash. Played her role perfectly. Sold well. I thought Skylar Ray did a heck of a job. Shiloh's a stud. There's no doubt about it. Stanford, come on, man. He's also from Mission Viejo. Shout out. That's where I live in SoCal. That's where he was born. But at the end of the day, I don't know what you do with Stacks now that he's not in the family. Like, he needs a mafia. And I'm not gonna lie, Ariana Grace is pretty darn good. But if the gimmick is just she's Stacks' girlfriend now, I don't even think we're utilizing Ariana Grace as well as we can. And Ant, I want to ask you about that one real quick.
Yeah, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I feel like Ariana Grace was the star of the match. I felt like she took like the couple bumps that they asked her to take flying into the Christmas tree. and stuff like that. She did it really well. And just her in-ring performance was good. Like her strikes look good. Everything. So Shiloh's a weird one. Shiloh has everything that he needs to be a superstar. Just can he put it all together and get the crowd behind him? Stacks is going to end up being a jobber, I believe. I mean, and we need jobbers. So bless up to him. Ariana needs to. Dude, I'm being real.
Jeez Louise.
I'm being honest, man.
We need jobbers.
You know what they remind me of? Jamie Noble and Nydia.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come clean, not to go inside baseball for everybody, but I'm just going to come clean. I was trying to figure out how we're going to shorten up the fact that we have 2 segments left. And you beat me to the punch because our last 2 segments, the first one is Andre Chase versus Lexis King happened. That's the end of that segment. So then
we need jobbers.
Yeah. So I didn't see that. We were really on the same page there. And so we've got the main event here for everybody. We've got Soruka versus Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green retains with the help of Alba Fire. The secret Hervis just continues to grow stronger in their Hervis, I would say 100%. Davis, I'm going to toss it to you out of the gates on this one, man. I thought it was a cool match. I thought it was cool that the show was built around it. I don't know that necessarily the rest of the show delivered in a way that made it feel as important as it should have. And for Soruka's sake, I thought the upset, the time to pull the trigger was now. If you were going to do it, and if you're going to give a headline coming out of the show, that's the only stone I felt like was left unturned tonight. What were your thoughts on the match, though? Because I did think this was a very solid match, and no knock on either performer at all.
No, it was a great match. I enjoyed it. And I'm exactly with you. I thought the time to pull the trigger was now. I don't know if they would pull it on NXT. I think you should, just to give some substance to this show. If they're going to do it, I think they would do it like on a SmackDown where there's, 10,000 people in the audience. I think Soul's that big of a performer, especially just seeing her live. I think it was for the second time I've seen her live, and she's amazing live, just as good as she's on TV. And I just wish they had something to gravitate this show to. And I think this was the match to do it. And at that one point, I remember I turned over and was looking at it. And I remember saying it when I was talking to you before the show. I'm like, we need a Zarya turn to give the show some seasoning to it, something. And then I saw Zarya's face, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then she spears both of them. I guess to send the crowd home happy or to the next taping. Apparently, this was taped. But some seasoning. A little salt and pepper.
What I think is fascinating about this is that the narrative is going to be about the show being taped. That's something you just brought up just now because of what happened in the Blake match that we discussed earlier last week. Blake and Thea, what happened there? Are we going to start getting more taped NXTs? I mean, listen, TNA just got a TV deal. All that's taped. You're not going to get live TNA wrestling on that TV deal. Basically,
the first one in Dallas is live.
That they'll do it live for a little. It'll be all taped. I guarantee it. You heard it here first. I'm calling that shot right now. We'll see a few live shows, and then everybody in the comment section will be all upset, like, oh, Clark, you said. No, it's going to be a taped show. 100%. Why would they not? There's no reason not to tape it if they can, hopefully the night before, probably, as opposed to the night of or a week before or something like that. but for NXT as well. I mean, you can't have things like that. At the end of the day, and I think it just put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths when it comes to the Tuesday night product. And we have the last show before, the holidays, before Christmas on a Tuesday. You have an opportunity to stand out. You're not really being counter programmed on December 23rd. Not that much. There one heck of a lot more to watch tonight. And if you're gonna do anything, I might even have the Thea and if given health, the Thea Blake rematch on the card as well, or a Sol Ruka upset, win a main card title, a call up, a headline, one headline coming out of this show. That's where I can't figure it out. That's where I'm like, what really happened? They gave us 2 hours of programming. That's 2 hours, including commercials. But at the same time, like there was impact wise. Wow, no pun intended there. Shoot. This started with TNA, but like impact wise, like what happened? That tomorrow we'll talk about, and I love talking about the product when it comes to NXT in general, but man, was I disappointed when it came to this one. This felt like a real opportunity to do something anywhere in any of these rivalries, and there were some highlights. It wasn't the worst show of the year by any means. It really wasn't. But do something. I especially think just after you built Blake Monroe up as the biggest female superstar, the entire roster is chasing her and all of that. And then you have what happens last week happen.
Mm-hmm.
And she's on the show, but she's still not the champ. You did your best, but like, I don't know. You also have no Obafemi. You've got no Ricky Saints, basically.
Right. For a little bit in the ring.
He's barely on the show.
Yeah,
he's barely on the show.
The Oba, come on now. The Oba and Leon Slater promos, were good.
They were solid.
And like watching that
goes
promo,
back to the tape thing.
Yeah, but it still made me excited for New Year's Evil, and now knowing we're getting Thea and Blake Monroe for New Year's Evil.
That week of wrestling's gonna cook.
Yeah. Like that's what this is doing. It's a setup. You know what I'm saying, Clark? You can't have a masterpiece dish if you don't do the prep work to get the stuff ready.
I'm with you on that. Well, speaking of, I think that's going to bring us to the end of the show, but thank you everybody that tuned in. Check us out next week. Have the best holidays. Enjoy time with your fam. If you don't enjoy your fam, though, enjoy time with your friends. And then if you don't enjoy your friends, I can't really help you on that one. Please tune in every Tuesday night to Off the Air, the daily broadcast, 3 o'clock over on the East Coast, noon Pacific. Of course, that's 8 o'clock in the UK and 9 a.m. for my friends in Hawaii. On behalf of me, Aunt you, Davis, everybody here at WR, happy holidays. It's a Tuesday. If you're still hungry on the West Coast, get tacos. It's the last day of the year.
Anniversary show tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Don't miss the anniversary show tomorrow.
Oh, that's the most important cheap plug for the day is, the anniversary show tomorrow. We're going to have a blast on that one.
It's going to be
I don't even need to we started it on Christmas Eve. That's how the daily started. So that's going to be the time of your life. Please tune in for that. But once again, on behalf of me, and you, and I pointed the wrong directions. Everybody, you guys have a great Tuesday. Whatever.